Hello guys, my name is Colin and I just got 27th place at the EUWCQ with my favorite pet deck right now, Fairy Tale. I got 27th place because I had the second worst tiebreaker. My losses were on stream, round 3, second feature match, where I got absolutely god-handed twice, which was crazy. Then I lost once to Telephone FTK, game 3 by Power Patron. He had one engine, I had only Fool, which got ashed, and then I watched him mill 2 telephones into the Cannon Soldier and FTK me, which is hilarious. And my third loss was when I played against Clown Crew, where game 3 I had 5 spells in hand and she summoned Spell Canceller, so there's nothing I can do there. But all the meta decks are super free with this version of the deck. I pretty much 2-0'd every Killer Tune player. It doesn't matter if you go first or second, because the way the deck is built, it's just made to beat all the meta decks. You can beat all the meta decks pretty easily, especially game 1 when they look at your hand and they see two or three board breakers against Killer Tune. They just know they lose. So let's get right ahead. First we go for the 1 cards. This deck has a lot of 1 cards. The Alice, there's also a 1 card combo. And the best 1 card is the Instant Fusion. I don't think I have to say a lot here. The deck is 44 cards. We calculated it that it has a 93% consistency ratio to see the combo, which is enough. So you don't need 3 balls. 2 is always enough. 3 Luna, best normal summon, too much Hero's Extender. 2 Spenta. I was playing 1-1 before, 1 Spenta, 1 Crowley, but we needed extra consistency, so we added the second Spenta into the second Soroa. You always side these out. This, another Luna, and the Imperm, which you will see later. So you always have a generic 5 side out, which you always side in 3 pots and to whatever you need. And if you have any other non-engine that's bad into the matchup, you side these out as well and change that. And post side, you still have like a 90% consistency with everything else that I play. This card is the GOAT. Invoked is the GOAT. I resolved Ion like 15 times this weekend. Every time nobody knew what it does. You just mid combo, you can Ion them like in opponents. You can either, when you start this, you Ion the mid combo for 3. Look at the expert with 3 out. Or if you go full combo, game 1 uninterrupted YouTube tutorial. This is one of the Emperor pieces, which in the opponent's turn, as a last push, summons an Aeon for 4, which banishes non-target 4 and rips 3 from the extra deck, and that's always GG. And this is the best card, which you will see later why. This is all the 1 cards that we have. Then for the extenders, we play 3 Regulus and the Empire. This card is so good. Randomly, you can clap every Blitzclick player with this. I was not expecting that much Blitzclick, but it's so good, just to as an extender or a way to protect. And then we play 2 Jenny of the Ring, just more hand extenders. Fun interaction I had this weekend. My opponent had Terahertz with the D-Save from field. And my friend told me, what you can do is you just target the Link 5 with Jenny of the Ring. It becomes a spellcaster. The D-Save form is no longer usable. Then for the non-engine, we played 1 Talents, 1 Kalpai. Like I said, the deck, it was made to build to beat the best decks. So I would probably not play all of these at locals if I would queue that, because at locals you see more random shit. 3 Crown, 3 Super Poly, 3 Porulia, and 3 Fuvalos. As you can see, there's no Ash, there's no Droll, that's all in the side. So game 1, if you go second, you have like a 90% chance to see at least one of these. And if you Charmy anybody, you pretty much most of the time win the game, because you have so much non-engine that you draw into. I had like this weekend, I lost more dices than I had 1 more dices than I lost. So there were a lot of times I just had to play with 4 cards in hand because one of them was a Charmy. But a cool play you can do is, if you get the equip spell early, you can use one of the Charmies to go into Mixosia as an additional interruption into Ion. I would only change, and the only thing I would change here, I would probably put 2 of these in the side and main 2 draws. But the deck building reason why was because I was not expecting that much Blitzclick or Power Patron or random shit. This was just made to beat Branded, Roulette, and kill it you. And then the necessary one-off evils, we have the Once Upon. We have the Sword for the Alistair. It's a great card. It's not that cool when you draw it, but it's always a fusion spell from field, which is nice. You can dodge stuff. But most of the time you just discard it or put it back with Sloth or whatever. Then the Goat, Fairy Tale Snow. This card is so good. This card enables the Sword, because what you do at the end in the opponent's turn, you just use Snow, banish all your fusions from grave or field. Then you go Sword, put them all back, and then you have an Aeon for 4, which was the Deck Fury, which also gives more fodder to Snow, so you can resolve it in a second time easier. And then we have the Once Upon. I love that card, it's so cool to summon from everywhere. Then the Tails is goated. And now with Mixosia it's even better, because now you can actually, when they interrupt you, for example with Harmonia, you can use Machgiru to change the name, and then fuse it away for a Mixosia, which is an under-interruption or combo into opponent's turn. And the one of Crowley, I drew it a lot, happens, you can fuse him away, it's not the end of the world. And then, the best cards of the weekend, these 5. This one I drew only once, but this card is the best card you can play right now, in my opinion, in Fairy Tale, because it's made to beat, like I said, it's made to beat the best decks. And so what you do always is you bait out all the interruptions from the best decks, and then you just resolve Frost. Frost for the instant fusion, and the instant fusion is 12,000 damage alone. That's how we beat a lot of Killer Tune players. You bait out everything, Frost, instant fusion, GG. The one of Imperm is just in here. When you go first and draw the Frost, if they don't Harmonias, you need to have a target to set, which is that. I got a Harmonia as well before with Frost in hand, so but at that point you can just go Frost into Talents and look at the hand and rip one. And the last one is the Duster. You could probably not play it in the main. We decided to have another target to go second. I think I frosted once into it and drew it once, but you could decide to cut that card. It's not that necessary. Then for the extra deck, we have the Fairy Tale cards. You only need 1 teller. I don't know why people play 2, because what you can do, you can always just banish 1 teller of the Snow, and this one can revive back from banish. So you always have teller. Wicked, you can play a second one. It's a choke point of the deck. People don't know what it does, but with 2 card hands, most of the time it doesn't matter if they hand trap it or not, because you can play around it with adding early Machgiru. So if they hand trap this, you just summon Machgiru, and then you don't have the full board, but you still have a good end board. Against Fuwa, people are like, yeah, this deck loses to Fuwa. Yes and no. Fuwa is a good card against the deck, but what I do, I always just give 2 draws for 5 interruptions. I have such good non-engine, which is not the Charmies, but the Super Poly and the Crown, which will always win me the game. Because if you have a Super Poly, what you can do if you have the Teller, you fuse something away. If the Teller has negated, you fuse the Teller and their monster away for Mixosia, and then you have Mixosia to banish the Teller and Mixosia itself, and then you have another Aeon for 2, so that's another 2 interruptions for free. Then we have the Magistus engine. With this version, you don't need 2 Artemis. It's not the 1 card so raw, you barely do. It's just in here for the consistency. 2 Choroso came up a lot because people like to put stuff in your back row, or you have a lot of stuff in the back row. This one I only used once. You could probably cut it for a Garura. That's the only thing I was missing in the extra deck. 1 Garura, because I was not expecting that much Blitzclick. So game 1, most of the time when I lost dice, I lost to Blitzclick. I played it 4 times because I did not have a way to fuse the board away. Game 2, you insta-win because you give them the YouTube tutorial for the Secret Village. And game 3, you side out. You side so many side cards in that you most of the time win the game. Like I said, never lost to them. Then the one of Sorua, golden card. I love him. He's so good at cracking boards, because when you have a Super Poly, most of the time you can normal summon Artemis, Super Poly their monster away, and then depending if you have enough engine, you can either equip the Artemis back to get Crowley, to get Spenta into Crowley, so you have another body to force with Choroso. Or what you can do is target one of their monster. If they try to remove the Sorua, sure, change Sorua to negate or destroy another one, and the card you target will go to grave by game mechanic. It's a ruling that just applies because it tries to equip, and then it goes to grave. These are the cards that we play for the Invoked engine. You don't need more. Here you can play a Raijin or another fire target. You just need a target for this guy, because this guy is goaded. He can be used as a board breaker, go second with Alistair. If you just go Alistair, summon, banish him, get the sword, summon him, summon back Alistair, make a Gerozo, and then you can use Sora for 2, summon Ion non-target, banish 2. Happened once this weekend. It's just free to break boards, and it's always quite nice to have. And like I said, this is the goat of the weekend. I summoned him 15 times. Every time I banished 3 or 4 non-target and 3 from the extra. People did not know what the card do. People did not see it coming, so it was goated. Same for Danilo. The card, he resolved it so much. It's such a great card. And then we have the one of Summon Circle goated card. Gives you everything you need from the deck. In the 1 card combo, you always end on the engine to this. And post side, you give them Secret Village. Against Village click, you can get the Regulus. It doesn't matter. This card needs to be banned. It's so stupid what it does. It revives everything from your graves and this card helps you play around Super Poly. You can play around any card in this deck. You can make end boards with all the interruption plus play around Super Poly. And the TCG exclusive is just busted, where you can see on my feature match, even though I got hand trapped 4 times, I still was able to put that guy up into Aeon. Was not enough, but that's a lot. That's the game plan going second when you get Charming. If you Super Poly, just Super Poly into this. Use Exosia, banish this and the Teller, and then give another Aeon. And then for the side deck, here we have the YouTube tutorial combo. Please play it, it's so good. If they don't interrupt you, you have enough engine, you will always win the game. People, every time I gave them YouTube tutorial, they just looked, they saw the card added, they scooped the game because they know I have 2 Omni Negates, Aeon, depending on Aeon. I have Snow, I have so many interruptions, they can't use spells. If they normal summon a card, you just go Snow, book it, doesn't matter. If they normal the spellcaster or not, they will not resolve any spells against me. DDG was just to replace the Imperm as a first target. The decision was this or Black Goat, but this hits more matchup way easier. So this was that. And then for the side, we also played 3 Ash Blossom. This is these were the go first cards. You always side out 8 cards, side out 8 in. You play side out the 6 Charmies, the 1 of Imperm and the 1 of Duster for these 8. It's good. You can also side these going second. I resolved this a lot. I resolved this a lot second or first. It's a really, really great combo to side in and out. Like I said, this deck was made to beat the meta. That's why we did not play these in the main. You could, like I said, you could put these in the main. And then we played the 2 of Santa. Never sided in once this whole weekend. Never saw him. I think you still have to play him because the roulette matchup, you just give that, bounce it with Luna, Kaichu the other one. You win the game. It's goated. Here we have 2 lightning storms for the back rows or the blitz clicks or whatever. I sided these in, like I said, with the best card of the side deck. This card is so good in this deck. Please play it at 3, side in 3 every time. Because when you resolve this card, if it gets ashed, you can resolve another one. Happened to me once or twice this weekend. And if you resolve this, you just give them a YouTube tutorial. You draw 5, 6, 7 cards, you put all the breaks back, you give yourself custom board breaker hands, and then you just rip through the board. So yeah, that was the deck profile. I think I said, for my opinion, this was the best choice for the deck for this weekend. Like I said, you have the best matchups against all the meta decks. I only lost to random shit, or once where I got god-handed twice. So I think I would play it again with slight changes, but yeah. This was the best. And now I go for the shoutouts. Shout out Thomas and Alex, who came with me and played, and Roman as well, who was not here with us today, but he went home already. Shout out to him. Sorry that I forgot to book you into the Airbnb. That's on me. Then shout out Lars, Bed Team, for lending me cards, and Rillind, Gabriel and Ramon. Thank you a lot for lending me the cards. Then we have Julio and Alien C, who deck theorized with me the deck. They played slightly different versions, but Julio, thanks a lot for the input with the thrust. And that was the best decision for the deck ever. Then shout out Seiya for giving me 3 crowns, and shout out to his ramen shop, Ramen Tsumitai. Shout out Julian for just being Julian. I think that's, and shout out Luke. Thanks for having me on your channel. I started playing the deck with your masterclass. I improved on it. I got you back into Fairy Tail for this EUWCQ. So it's a wholesome circle all the way around. So thanks a lot for watching my deck profile. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in a comment, or you can text me on Dueling Book. Gambling is good. If you want to know something, I'm here to help. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.